Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this. This is the beautiful looking BMW i8. Now this is the convertible version. It doesn't matter if it's raining or not because it is raining right now, but I'm still going to get inside the car and drive it in the rain. So straight away, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor and off we go. Yeah, it's not a very high revving motor because this is powered by a measly 1.5 liter 3-cylinder unit. Yeah, that seems inadequate in a sports car. But no, this is a plug-in hybrid sports car, which means that more important is that battery pack which works in conjunction. And in this car, why is it skidding all over the place in spite of having 4-wheel drive? So it's got a battery pack, but the problem is that it's a plug-in hybrid. It is not a self-charging hybrid. You need to charge that battery pack, and because it's a BMW, it's kind of tail happy even with a 4-wheel drive system. I love the way the wipers are working on this car. It looks really nice. The lights are also sensational. I'll be very frank with you. I have not driven the convertible version of this car. Why is it so crazy right now? I've not driven the convertible version of this car. I've driven the coupe version twice in 2016 and then a brand new unit in 2018 as well. And the one I drove in 2018 had done literally 0 kilometers. I did the run-in on that vehicle. Here we go. .5 liter motor, what does it have to offer? This 3-cylinder unit has to offer 231 horsepower, which comes in at 5800 rpm. Torque output is 320 newton meters, which comes at 3700 rpm. Now these numbers might not be impressive for a supercar, but then it's got a battery pack which produces an impressive 143 horsepower. I'll tell you why it's impressive. That 143 horsepower actually comes at 4800 rpm. However, it also has 250 newton meters of torque, which comes in at a rather low oh my god, this car is going out of control, 0 rpm. There are 250 newton meters of torque at 0 rpm. The overall output, combined power output, happens to be 374 horsepower combined with a weight of around 1600 kgs, and that torque output, which is massive. Electric motor working on the front wheels and the engine working on the rear wheels results in performance which is absolutely breathtaking on the BMW i8. It is so breathtaking, it goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 4.6 seconds. But the disappointing part happens is once that battery is depleted, you need to charge it, and which is only sufficient for 2 runs. And this is what I noticed when I was actually driving the car. So what do? Well, it goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in around 7 seconds. So that's like, once you deplete the battery, this car goes from being supercar fast, or rather old BMW M5 which used to go from 0 to 100 km per hour in 4.4 seconds. So from going from 0 to 100 km per hour close to a M5 F10M to going from 0 to 100 km per hour slower than even a 530i, which is, according to me, a very slow car somehow. So here, as you can see, white looks really nice on this car, and the one I drove was also white. It gets butterfly doors. Doors are so sexy on this car, but getting in and out is an absolute pain in your rear end. Trust me on this. Hard onto the brakes. Braking performance is extremely nice. You know, the performance is really very brisk. Turbo lag is obviously very well contained, and the major highlight of this car happens to be how easy it happens to be to drive. Okay, in the city, of course, because right now when I'm driving on the highway, I'm finding it a complete handful. Somehow it seems like a handful because the handling is not that easy or convenient. Even though it's a BMW, it has a great steering wheel, good amount of feel and feedback. Yeah, look at the strength of the chassis. You know why? This is the world's first carbon fiber plug-in hybrid supercar. Now that is something really worth applauding. Okay, and the roof can be put down in 15 seconds up to a max speed of 50 kilometers per hour. And I got another ticket, unfortunately. It's paired to a 6-speed automatic gearbox, which is fast with shifts, and you obviously got the usual drive mode. So there is a comfort as well as sport mode and eco pro modes as well. Comfort is, yeah, fine, but in sport mode it really picks up pace. In fact, it picks up pace so well you feel like you're going faster than you actually are, thanks to that important sound of the vehicle, because the 3-cylinder isn't really sporty, but then there are fake sounds coming from the speakers on the inside, which is disappointing once you come to know. Otherwise it's kind of fine. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. Look at the way it accelerates. You know, the brakes of this car are also very strong, and it's got regenerative braking too, but you don't feel that regeneration happening at all. That's how well done it is. And I was a little late there, and you can see the complete opposite lock at all given moments, because it somehow kind of, you know, doesn't like to be driven fast, which is kind of surprising, because I didn't feel that when I was actually driving the real i8 in the real world somehow. Okay, that said, you know, it really doesn't have any rivals, so it's unrivaled. Price in India was 2.88 crores when it was launched, and then it was discontinued, and it's being discontinued globally because it hasn't been a sales success as such. It's very expensive a car, and they never launched the convertible version in India, the one which I'm driving right now. Only the coupe was available. Later there were many changes which were done to this car. The suspension is obviously on the stiffer side expectedly, and with a stiff suspension, ride as you would expect isn't that great. And when I say ride isn't that great, well, it thuds through, unfortunately, which is kind of an irony considering that this is a do-it-all supercar which can be used in the real world daily as well. Look at the condition of the weather now. It's become night, not the weather. The time of the day, it's become night, and the laser lights look beautiful. Does it get laser lights? Well, at least it looks like laser lights to me. So the chassis is on the stiffer side naturally because it has a battery pack too. So in order to ensure, you know, that battery pack is well taken care of, they went with some stiffness to the chassis as well as the suspension, which you can feel on bad roads for sure. That said, the BMW i8 looks absolutely gorgeous. Just look at me looking so cool right now driving one, because that is the beauty of the i8. It was an absolute sensational looking supercar, along with the fact that not only was it sensational in terms of looks, it also really nailed it when it came to being eco-friendly. It is one of the most eco-friendly supercars without a doubt. E-boost and off we go. Look at the acceleration. I'm going to shut up. So one of the crucial differences between the coupe as well as the convertible model happens to be the fact that BMW actually removed the rear seats. I don't know for what. Anyways, the rear seats were useless. Human beings could not sit there for sure. But the light is nice and bright at night, and this car is an absolute beast of sorts. What fun, what a machine. Unfortunately got discontinued. Should have given it a bigger internal combustion engine for sure, and this car is very difficult to ride. Not only that, they should have also given it a bigger battery pack and self-charging battery, not plug-in, because as soon as the battery runs out of juice, well, you are doomed, because honestly, what will you do when the battery is out? You have to charge it, which means you have to plug it in, and at the time when this car was launched, there were not many plug points either. That said, absolute beast when it turns like this and spins the wheels. My goodness, what a car, what a beast. This is the BMW i8, one of my favorite, I would say, a hypercar or a niche supercar. Not a hypercar as such, it doesn't have the performance of a hypercar, but definitely is a very niche car. I mean, it didn't make much sense back then, it doesn't make much sense now either, but it's an absolute beast which loves to do all this and more. So guys, if you like this vlog, you know what you have to do. Nothing you have to do. Let me know which is your favorite BMW car, and if you like hybrids, plug-in hybrids specifically, which is the one you would choose. Oh my god, that is a Rolls Royce? You know, it looks like a Rolls Royce, but it's not a Rolls Royce for sure. So she's going to race this awkward looking car. I just pressed the race button just so that I would know what car it is. And look at him going from where and trying to cheat his way. Oh yes, we have taken the absolute wrong route. I was going via the maps and this guy did his own route and has won the race. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Bye bye, take care, see you.